And I'm now delighted to bring on two speakers. We're going to be talking about advancing embedded AI with edge computing. And what we'll be doing is exploring how embedded AI and at the edge is transforming industries such as IoT, industrial systems, and healthcare, and what challenges and opportunities lie ahead. So we'll have two speakers. Moe Sani, who's a staff solutions engineer at Edge Impulse, and he works closely with customers deploying AI at the edge across a variety of applications. But then Pierre Drizet, director with INX, bringing deep expertise in microelectronics and system design for next generation AI. What we're going to do is that each of them is going to present, and then the three of us are going to sit and have a little discussion on some of the challenges and opportunities and trends. So I'm going to introduce, first of all, Moe Sani, please come with us.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Moe Sani, one of the solutions engineers at Edge Impulse. And today I'm going to talk about Edge AI. You probably have heard this term a lot, but what are the actual benefits of Edge AI for you in your projects? Well, the first thing that you can have with Edge AI is that it will enable innovation, because now you can do stuff that you were never able to do before, because the models are now small and they're able to run on the hardware on the edge rather than the big servers on the cloud or in a big PCs. So that's the first thing. Second is privacy. Your data stays in your device, so there is no risk of someone taking your data while transferring it. Third thing is the power. So running the model on the edge is more efficient than transferring the data. Normally, the radio communication takes a lot of the power budget. Next is the cost. You're going to save all the costs from the server, from your data providers, that smartphone data or whatever that are network data you're using. Reliability is the next, because once the model is on the device running, is not going to change much. And the last thing is the bandwidth and the latency. Now, with the models running on the edge, you can do stuff that requires low latency, like critical mission things that something needs to happen suddenly if an error happens. You cannot rely on the latency of the networks for the data to go back and forth to the servers. So this is all the exciting new opportunities that Edge AI provides. Let's see if the clicker works. Well, this is the high-level end-to-end architecture of our platform. We basically at Edge Impulse have this pipeline of data collection. You can connect any sort of devices to the dashboard, collect your data, and then build a big data set. There are labeling tools you can use to label your data. And then you can build a model by just clicking, train a model, and then deploy it in an optimized way to your edge devices. So some examples of our industrial use cases are object detection. We have our models for detecting objects. We have an anomaly detection model that we have a demo of it in our booth. You can come and have a look. Event detection is another thing for time series. You can have time series data as well, and signal processing, or you can even use synthetic data if you didn't have real data in the product. We have also health and safety application use cases. We have a lot of customers that they use wearable devices to monitor like heart rate and activity detection. You could fuse multiple sensors together with AI or use it for clinical data. So on a high level, the platform looks like this. You have a nice visual. You can just click and select your AI models, different baseline models, object detection, anomaly detection, or just bring a custom model. And then you go through the pipeline as you go forward, test your model, optimize it, and everything is in one place for you to deploy it. We have a lot of features that is outside of the scope of this session, but just one of them is experiments that we have is automatically tunes your model towards the platform that you're going to deploy it to. So that's a useful feature. Sorry, this clicker is a bit slow. So if you scan this barcode, you can get this Edge AI book for free. This is the gift we are giving for this show. And with that, I think that's my last slide, yeah?
We don't have long, we've got about 9 minutes, 8 minutes, but one of the things I think I've been writing about Edge AI in a big way since 2018 at the Times, and we keep hearing about all these amazing use cases. You've been both around for a while. Tell us about some of the real world volume deployments you've seen. Edge Impulse, I think, has been doing more, very much ML at the edge and all that. I think you've also been doing a lot. So let's start with you, Mo.
Yeah, sure. That's a very good question. Thank you. Maybe one use case that I can bring is a production line quality control. So you might know in a production line you have thousands of maybe let's say plastic parts going through or metal, and you normally want to have someone sit at the end of the production line to check the quality of those. One of our customers is a major automotive part production company that they produce parts for BMW, and they have really high fines for every time they send a wrong component and something that has a minor defect in it, even like a scratch. BMW will charge them big money. So for 1 year, the only charges for the company was around like 1 million. So only for like a few components that they sent. They started working with us in implementing Edge Impulse and like putting a camera system at the end of the production line just to check if those parts are fine, they don't have any plastic defects or anything. Or even like simple things like a clip attachment on the plastic. If it is missing, then they will get a fine. But they managed to save that 1 million in a year. So it was a winning story. Like good to see that. And I believe there are so many similar use cases around that hasn't been explored much really.
So that's not just Edge AI, it's Edge Vision AI.
Yeah, Edge Vision.
And how, I mean, for you to your experiences, how accurate is that? Are they sort of doing 100% pass through on those components?
Yeah, there is always like accuracy issues, but you have to also consider the human eye also has a mistake. So you're not
So it's giving you an
100%.
acceleration.
Yeah, it will give you acceleration, which much cheaper cost. Yeah.
Yeah, what are your sort of experiences?
Yeah, so we do a lot of IoT projects. Our customers are building those products, and one of the success stories we've had is people building their own sensors that can do very smart sensors. So
It's just that I think people can't hear it. Right?
sorry.
Yeah.
So making smart sensors that can do occupancy detection, but also analysis of all kind of occupancy. So that's the time series processing. So that's one of the ones we.
Where would those smart sensors be, for example?
So
Pollution? Atmospheric?
no, it's not office spaces. So sound masking in offices is dependent on how many people are in an office.
Okay, so you've got the count, again, vision, so counting.
Sound masking, it's no not sound in the room. People don't like to hear overhead conversations of people co-working. So big buildings that move in offices now have an AV built in, and they spend quite a lot of money to make those nice places. So it's kind of a well-being feature for a smart building.
And both of you, I mean, for the example you gave and the example you've given us now, what have been the challenges with your customers? Because I guess I'm an engineer who graduated 40 years ago, so unless I learn coding now, I'm not sure I'll be able to do it. And one of your raison d'etre is basically you don't have to do coding, you just put your data set and put it on there. But what are the challenges? Let's start with you, Mo. Yeah, what are the big challenges you're
Yeah,
see?
yeah, good question again.
Or is it something else? Or is it
Yeah,
actually the physical connection of something?
normally, as if any of you don't like any coding, is the tiny annoying things that frustrate you and waste your time in every project. In AI, it's the same thing. It is not like whether you can find the latest and greatest method to do something or you use ChatGPT 10,000 version, whatever. It is more about like tiny details. If you're getting an image inside, what's the vector size, like how to modify that to fit into your model, or how your model is going to compile and run on the hardware. So these tiny details take so much time in every project, and we try to help that a little bit by Edge Impulse simplifying one step or a couple of steps in that process, helping people to take the models from that normally another issue is that normally the models are designed to run on like massive servers and massive computers, but we try to compile them down to a tiny footprint so they can run on the edge simply. Yeah.
Yeah, what about you? And when you're doing these sensors, smart sensors, what's their challenge? Is it similar or?
Um, so, I mean, I think one of the challenges we've had mostly is data annotation, and especially for machine vision. We've had customers come to us halfway through a project with a with an approach that requires a lot of image data that's annotated, so they just don't realise how much they're going to need to make it really work. That's been one of our main problems. So educating how much data they need. Systems that can help you annotate like Edge Impulse, and so we've done a few tricks with using April tags, for example, to help you annotate the data without having to mark it yourself. So those are the kind of things we've done, but if something a physical product they need to have lots of pictures of, they often don't have the infrastructure to generate those pictures in the first place.
That's a very good point. These days there's so much data, but people forget that a lot of data doesn't mean good data. They need to find the quality data. Yeah.
We're talking about edge, so I guess you're going to discard a lot of data anyway. You're only going to use useful data, is that right? Or do they get like sort of bogged down by, oh, what do I do with all this data?
Yeah, well, I think so we've worked with some companies that have a lot of very valuable data, and they've gone down methods of using all of that data. Been quite an expensive operation to
I can imagine, yeah.
and possibly they need to do that to get the same result. But so sometimes it's the other way. You get people with too much data, and they build quite expensive systems that cloud-based as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think good quality annotated data that is selected, is the right data for you, is better than just like dumping huge amounts of data into the model and hoping for the best. Yeah.
We've got a couple of minutes left, and maybe a minute, but let's talk about the future. I mean, when you talk about Edge AI, what are the big opportunities you see for yourselves as companies that what you're doing? I mean, you're now part of Qualcomm, so I guess I can't talk about that, but I think you can talk about a bigger opportunity in the trend. But at the same time, is there anything immediate that you see, like, is going like, wow, this is really going like hotcakes?
I mean, I think industrial data is at Moe. There's quick projects to get started, make work. There's a lot of that there. They're not always quite single. They're kind of low density kind of projects. I think the one which is going to scale, my opinion, is in medical. I think that's been underutilized in the edge. Right, you do a lot of it's happening on the cloud. You could do a lot of that on the edge, cheaper, better.
But actually, we just ran an article about drones in healthcare, and there's a lot of edge AI stuff going on there. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, I think actually the market is going towards a place where it is right now is going to be the mature time to actually start using all the greatest technology that has been developed. So I think the next good advantage is going to be not to what is the best model to develop, what's the next ChatGPT, but is how to use the existing models in the project and how to utilize them. That's going to be the next winners for the next 3 to 5 years. Yeah, a lot of small models that they look simple machine learning, but actually useful.
Well, one big area is security of Edge AI. That's going to be the next topic. Gentlemen, I thank you for that. I think we've run out of time. Thank you to the audience, and yes, good luck with everything.
Thank you.